were talking to Miami and the Miami Zoo, as well as the obvious choice, which is Gainesville. Some of them we're looking at one of them to end up at the Gainesville airport. We're still producing new ones, but we're looking to end the project. This is almost our third year even of it. And it's been in the community, for the community, to benefit the community. That's how we started this. That was very important that we do that. And another difference about our program is most of these projects give back to one thing, say a science museum or a kids organization. Each one of ours goes to benefit a different organization. We started at Colonial Town Park in 2006 originally, and in Seminole County. The city of Winter Park really liked the idea, and the merchants got behind it for us to come to the streets of Winter Park, Florida. Then Baldwin Park out of Beverly Hills, California wanted us to bring a new exhibit and bring our gators down there. The way Arty Gators started was I wanted to do something as serving as the executive director of the St. Johns River Alliance. So I thought, well, we can put these alligators all up and down the hundreds of miles of the river in certain cities, which was a very ambitious project to do. So that never came about. We decided to do it in Central Florida instead.
How did I come up with the theme concerning the Arty Gators? Well, the litigator one is one that I specifically got asked to do from a law firm. So obviously Perry Mason on the front of it, that was my idea. But they wanted some type of a bird coming out of a cage, the jailbird effect.
We had hundreds of designs to choose from, and this one, if you can see, is our very first mascot that we did to kick the project off. We really wanted to have something that would show other artists what they could do, and that's kind of how it started. But we have a lot of designs that are still out there to be done.
How much freedom do they give us involved with our projects? Once we had submitted our proposals on paper, and the committee that said yes or no to them selected and made their selections, and then we got told about it, we did have to stay within a general guidelines of what our picture was.
From start to finish, we get a sponsor to sponsor it, because it's a very expensive project to do. So the sponsor pays for the artist, pays for the fabrication, all the costs of the project. Then we go to the fabricator in a series of molds that are made off an original plug. There's a large design and a silicone mold involved. The mold has to be lifted by a forklift, it's that big. So then after that, it's polished down and primed and off to the artist, and we gave them a month to do their work.
If we did one or if we did 5, you still had to squeeze them in that time frame. So inside of 20 days, so I didn't get to start even do painting on them to the last 5 days or so. So everything was structured. In
the case of the Patriot, we had a lot of different people involved. The fireworks on the top were the idea of the CEO of the company that sponsored it, and so it's a real neat team thing when you sit down to try to design them. Then there were other designs like Steve Grew did the surfer. He had a surfboard that he'd been wanting to use in a project for about 8 years.
Surfing Gator was strictly trying to appeal to a broad segment of Central Florida. They have this blank, which is just generic, kind of like it's totally white, it's totally amorphous almost, and and you don't want to have them cookie cutter. That's why immediately on mine I would cut their arms off and then rebar them out to something else and then refiberglass them, because everybody's just going to have the same look.
The impact has been amazing. Kids have done scrapbooks on them, waiting for a new Arty Gator to come out. So I don't know exactly the extent of how many people have been touched by this particular community project.
Concerning other cities and their projects, Arty Gators was promoted real heavily. I liked what Mindy did about having these get-together things. There was a social aspect, not just a we've chosen your piece, thank you, here's a check, have it done by this time.
Everybody has a favorite Arty Gator, and when we had the boxes for the merchant entries, we asked everybody, what is your favorite gator? And they pretty much have come out even. I don't think there's a clear winner. Everybody has their favorites. A lot of people and tourists like the lost tourist, where the tourist is in the belly. But I think the propagator for the arts, and certainly the surfer alley is what Steve Grew calls his gator. That is the subject and the character of an animated television show that we're producing, and we're working with the SpongeBob folks to develop a television show. So there's legs to this whole thing.